I should actually take a break, but I just keep going. I don't know why. I guess just my just what I do. Just keep going. You don't stop. Just keep going. One more dead raider. A picked medical box and a healing potion later, I tropped quietly back into the main room, serrated knife floating by my side. I moved to the open cage and sawed away the ropes binding the poor pony. Go, you're free. Get somewhere safe. With a blink, I remembered the sniper pony and quickly told her which directions to sneak away in. She nodded mutely and began to slink out. I moved to the next cage. You didn't tell the first one about the sniper pony. What I saw sickened me. A pony had been locked inside along with a decaying corpse. The pony was whimpering in her sleep and had her tail wrapped around the ghastly body like a Teddy Ursa. Unlike the other bodies, I couldn't tell how this one had died, but it wasn't carved apart. The body had lost all its coat. Its skin was sickening blotched work of red and gray. Flaking away, its eyes were open, dry, and staring in wrong directions. Its teeth were horribly yellowed, matching the few strands of hair left in its mane and tail. Odd, fleshy growths hung from its sides. At first I mistook them for mutations, but then I realized I was looking at the pony's wings. This was the body of a Pegasi pony, stripped of feathers and hair. The wings were strange, even repulsive. I screamed, a full-throated cry of terror when the corpse shifted position and sat up, its eyes sliding around till they both focused on me. It was a zombie pony! The zombie pony blinked at me, then tried to get up, only to fall over onto one wing side of its hooves were bound in ropes like the others. She stared at me plaintively. Fuck. Swallowing, I moved the knife down to her ropes. Hold still. I looked at her eyes and was quickly forced to look away. One of them was sliding again. Her breath was fetid. Now, if I let you go, and you try to eat my brains, we're going to have harsh words. That's cute. I have freed the two captives, Flew and the zombie pony, both of whom slipped away without an offer of help, though the zombie at least smiled at me, which was deeply unpleasant. I was trying to figure out how to get the hanging cage when two more raider ponies appeared on a balcony above. One of them was a unicorn pony with a very scary-looking firearm. I dove into the shelter of a stairwell as the raider opened fire. The gun let out a terrifying cacophony of rapid-fire cracks as it splayed the main room with bullets. At least I knew what type of gun the large clips were for now. I waited until I heard him reloading, then dashed into a room and spun to face him, focusing all my magic not on my own weapons, nor on him, but the bookshelf behind him. Don't you wish you could do that in the actual Fallout games? The glow in my horn stood out brighter and brighter as he lifted the reloaded assault rifle and took aim for my head. Crash! The bookshelf came down on top of him, knocking him unconscious. Unconscious. Fuck! My voice, my words! They don't work all of a sudden. The assault rifle fell to the floor in a rain of dead books. Something else showered down as well from the falling bookcase, knocking away a book that had fallen over it. I saw that was an ancient, dusty pair of pre-war binoculars. At first, it struck me as extremely odd for someone to need binoculars in a library. That would require some really bad eyesight. But the silly thought passed. I couldn't see where the other raider pony had gotten to. Swiftly, I added the assault rifle to my growing collection, and the binoculars for good measure. When I looked back at the balcony, considering it as a way to get the caged pony hanging from the ceiling, if I could get up there, I thought I could leap from it to the cage. It would get me close enough that I could see what I was doing when I picked the lock. The second raider pony appeared back at the railing, a wicked grin on his face. With a hoof, he shoved forth an ammo box, then tilted over the lid. The lid sprung open. Half a dozen Ord's discs poured into the library below. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah. Oh, fuck. I dashed as fast as my little legs could take me, leaping over the body of Pool Q Pony and under the kitchen table, using my magic to toss over a shield. To toss it over as a shield. The carved up Radigator slid to the floor in a meaty thump. Behind my shield, the world became blinding light and fire. Jesus. When I emerged, the main room was a wreck. Fresh blood dripped down into my mane. Looking up, I saw the blast-torn remains of the pony in its twisted metal cage. Oh, Celestia, damn them to hell! More determined than ever, I stripped the raider bodies. What little was left of them now, of their armors. The armors were in shredded tatters, but with some effort I was able to use the best bits of each to patch together something that would give me better protection than my stable-issued utility barding. The resulting outfit had almost no pockets, so I would have to dig through the utility suit out of my saddlebags to get at most of my tools. That was a fair trade. Putting it on was gruesome. My hooves were darkened with blood just from working on it. Every inch was covered in flash-fried gore of dead ponies. I'd almost lost my nerve and abandoned the awful thing. I forgot to set my time. I keep forgetting to set my goddamn timer. At a last look around me while I figured I still had time, the raider above me obviously assumed I was dead. I would have assumed I was dead too. Looting the bodies garnered me a little more ammo. The gun from the earlier raider had been in bad shape to begin with, and was damaged beyond repair by the explosion. Several ponies apparently collected bottle caps, which struck me as an absurdly odd thing to hoard. I left those alone. The kitchen's refrigerator had a small stockpile of food, cooked radigator meat, a few skewers of barbecued fruits, while I had the pit bucket damn flight as a bloat sprite meat. A box of pre-war cake, because nothing says healthy like eating 200-year-old food, and some water that looked like it was bottled straight out of Sludge River. I took everything but the cake and water. Apparently, Splayed Torso Cutie Raider was a decent cook. With a second thought, I looked over the ingredients on the cake box, filled with enough preservatives that your stomach will be intact long after the rest of you are rotted away to dust, and took it too. The raider pony was in the main room, looking over his handiwork when I returned from the kitchen. One look at me and my growing pile of weaponry, he fled up the stairs. I galloped after him, revolver spinning through the air in a cloud of levitation magic that matched the light around my horn. He went through a door on the level above. It took me only a moment to reach him, but caution made me skid to a stop before barreling through. If it had been me on the other side, I would be waiting just to the side of the door, ready to take the head off the raider who rushed through. With positions reversed, I was not going to make the same mistake. A filly's cry from inside, "Ah, help!" changed the scenario. Standing to the side, I threw open the door. There was no attack. I darted in and stopped short. The room was lined with more destroyed books on either side, and ended in a large window that opened to a balcony. The room was decorated as disgustingly as the last, but filled with stained sleeping mattresses. Near the open window, a filly too young to even have her cutie mark lay on a mattress stained with so much blood it was nearly black. She had been brutalized and raped repeatedly, and her flank was covered in small burns, where her cutie mark would have eventually appeared. Her Is the battery just dead on my timer? No, it's still going. Her ropes were on the floor nearby, looking chewed through, and between myself and her, the reindeer pony stood with a shocking hostage. The zombie pony! It took me a moment to realize she must have flown in from the balcony, and if I was allowed to believe there was any decency left in the world, it would have been her who gnawed the filly's ropes free. Now she was against the wall, with a blade of an axe to her throat. A small part of my brain insisted on distracting me by wondering how the zombie pony could have flown when her wings didn't have any feathers. Magic, duh. It's how we decide it works. My distraction was distracted by it, as if that was a more significant mystery than how she could be alive, by some definition, in her decayed physical condition. My distraction was distracted by a nearby table. An ashtray with a smoking cigar told me how the filly had gotten those burns. Rage welled up in me until I felt it would burst through my eyeballs. Next to the ashtray, 2 familiar metal apples rested on top of a only lightly stained book with a stylized pony skull on the cover. A second book, this one showing a revolver almost identical to the one floating next to me, had slipped to the floor where it rested against one leg. She's got great eyesight. Now, Little Pip has amazing eyesight. Must be max 10 in perception. Along with several pencils and a filly's lunchbox. A smiling, gentle white unicorn with a beautiful lavender and pink mane stared back beneath the Stable Tech logo. It felt wrong that something so innocent looking should be in this place. Oh, God. My eyes turned to the Earth Pony Raider with an axe in his teeth. For a moment, I just hated at him. The room kept silent except for the filly's occasional whimper. Then, my voice returned. My words surprised me. By Celestia, you're stupid. Hard to tell a pony to back off or surrender when your mouth is full of an axe, isn't it? Maybe you spent more time reading these books rather than destroying them. You'd be smart enough to come up with a plan that actually allowed you to negotiate a way out of this. The grenades levitated off the table. I dangled them between us. One that doesn't have to end with me shoving one of these up your tail hole. The raider pressed the axe blade tighter against the zombie pony's throat, enough to cut flesh, which split and pulled back as if it had been strained taut. The ichor that might have once been blood oozed from the wound. The zombie pony didn't flinch or whimper, but the filly did both. Alright, kill her. That way, there won't be anything to block my shot. That's what I say! You know the person's not going to kill the hostage, because then they lose their bargaining chip. And then there's no reason why you can't kill them. Ugh. I could see the raider considering his options and not liking what he was finding. Dropping the axe from his mouth, he whinnied pathetically, "I don't want to die," and then dashed for the opening balcony, leaping over the cringing filly. Sats sent 4 shots into his ass. It was a pathetic way to die. Looking to the filly and zombie pony, I smiled grimly. There's one left. I'll be right back. I turned and continued up the stairs towards the upper balcony and the sniper pony. Better equipped and a lot more confident. My heart still flickered with righteous fire as I made my way carefully out of Ponyville. Up ahead, I spotted a huge gazebo surrounded in marble statue of a rearing pony girded in combat barding, a sword in his mouth. The gazebo was relatively free of graffiti, and peeked through the binoculars I could see why. The field of weeds around it were teeming with radigators. My EFS was filling with red marks as I drew closer. Slipping out my newly acquired sniper rifle, I picked off a few. Their meat, I knew now, was safe when cooked. At least relative to the other food sources in the Equestrian wasteland. Slipping the sniper rifle back into its harness. Another gift from the sniper pony. I slid out of the serrated knife and crouched up to my kill. An alert flashed on my pit buck. Checking it, I discovered it had been labeled the gazebo in front of me. The Macintosh War Memorial. Curiosity pulled me closer, careful of radigators. I neared enough to read the inscription beneath the statue through my binoculars. In honor of Big Macintosh, hero of the Battle of Shattered Hoof Ridge, and his noble sacrifice for all of Equestria. As I lowered the binoculars, I caught sight of something else. A concrete circle sticking up from the ground, roughly halfway between myself and the gazebo, with a pony hole cover. Remembering the night before, I turned my pit buck back to the first radio broadcast on the list. From those damn apple trees up near the stable, and now he's terribly sick. Too sick to move. We hold up in the cistern near the old memorial. We're running out of food and medical supplies. Please, if anybody hears this, help us. Message repeats. Pulling out the revolver, wary of radigators, I crept towards the cistern opening. It was almost there before one of the beasts charged at me. Its huge maw opening to reveal rows and rows of razor-sharp teeth. I fired twice into its mouth. Horrifyingly, that wasn't enough to kill it, but it did make the beast think twice. Sound, however, brought more of them down on me. Abandoning the revolver and... No! I used my magic to pull open the pony hole and dived in, sliding the cover behind me. In the wake of my anger, I was exhausted, and in the aftermath of the library battle, my whole body ached from exertion. My nerves felt frayed from the constant adrenaline. Eating a bloat sprite skewer, I looked over the small underground chamber once more before curling up on the upper bunk of the pair of bunk beds built into the wall. I tried not to think of the cold skeleton on the bed below me. The skeleton of his father was by the door. A sip from my canteen took the edge off my thirst. It was almost empty. I had to conserve. I reflected how I came back downstairs after dealing with the sniper pony. The zombie pony was already gone. I had taken the poor filly with her. I hope it was someplace safe. I found strange that the most decent pony I had found in the wasteland was already sword dead. I also noticed the assault rifle pony was also gone. He had woken up and freed himself from the crushed bookshelf. That meant there was one more raider still in the waste. But I wasn't the sort of pony to kill some pony while I slept. Not even a raider. Oh, you made a mistake there. Big mistake. I figured that if I slept here tonight, it would give the radigators time to wander away from the exit. If I was lucky, I'd even spot where I dropped the revolver. Until then, I would preoccupy myself with my 2 new books. Slipping them out of the saddlebag, I looked the first one over. The one with my lost revolver on the cover. Guns and Bullets. Very straightforward. I set it aside for now. The second one, a gray tome with a black pony skull on the cover, was the real prize. Opening up to the first page, I began to read The Wasteland Survival Guide by Ditsy Doo. Level up! Woo! New perk. Bookworm. You pay much closer attention to the smaller details in reading. Gain 50% more skill points from reading books. Oh, her guns are going to go way the fuck up. Anyways, that's all for this time. And Lil Pip completed her first side quest, guys, and she's now level 3. Oh, they level up so damn fast. Okay, god damn it. 19 minutes. I gotta end the video. I'll see you guys next time. Tell me what you think of this chapter.